Well, hey, Beth, it's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel, honey. Let's go ahead and get into Married at First Sight Houston. Let's talk about it. All right, y'all. The first thing I want to talk about is how boring the show was. The episode was so boring to me, y'all. It was such a struggle for me to get through the episode, but I'm going to really try to get through this review for y'all. Okay, I understand that it's late, but just know, girl, I just ain't had the energy to bring it to y'all. I was like, well, this show ain't here for God worth a motherfucker. Okay? It ain't him worth a plum nickel, and you know it. Which movie was that? Name that down in the comments, honey. It's not worth a plum nickel, and you know it. Okay? So let's go ahead and move on. So Brett and Ryan. Boring AF. They're still trying to assess how they feeling about each other. I think that Brett is starting to like Ryan way more than Ryan is starting to like her. Ryan was pretty confusing. So first of all, they play this jingle game. Okay, they're playing the jingle game, and every time he probably doesn't knock down the entire Jenga, he ends up reading something about himself that she likes, right? He's reading what it is that Brett likes about him, okay? So, I mean, I guess that was a cute little game, right? That was really cute. Ryan is starting to grow on Brett, but I don't think that Brett is necessarily growing on him. Ryan says that he usually falls in love super fast, but he hasn't done that when it comes to Brett. Now, he says he wants to work on it more than anything, though. So he really does wants to be in this marriage. He just wants to try and get to that place where he's going to like her, but he doesn't know how long it's going to take her, okay? Take him. So I'm kind of wondering, like, is he a little shy because the cameras are around or something? Or are you just not that into her? Is it something that she's done that you're like, I don't know how far this is going to go? She's not as adventurous as I am. Like, are you starting to look at the things that you guys don't have in common and using that as the primary reason as to why you can't really connect with her? But I will say this. It was a little confusing to hear him say that, what did he say? Okay, so Brett says that in order for her to fall in love, she needs it to be mutual. Ryan says that they aren't there yet emotionally or physically. He says he doesn't know what it will take for him to get there. He says he waited too long in past relationships. This is what confused me. He said he waited too long, what it sounds like, he waited too long in past relationships to actually fall for somebody or love them or like all that stuff, right? So I'm like, how is it that you said you fall in love too quickly based on your past, but then at the same time, you sit over here telling us that it's taking you a long time to get to that place? Which one is it? Because your sister sat up there at dinner talking about how quickly you fall in love, sir, and you went along with it, you agreed with it, all of that. And then now here it is, you're telling her that you waited too long in past relationships. Somebody lying. Make this part make sense, because it's not. Okay, so that's where we at with Ryan. I understand why Brett is confused, because girl, he just confused me here too. So all I have for y'all is baby good luck. Let's move on to Rachel and Jose, because Rachel and Jose seem to be having a great time of their lives. Okay, Rachel is telling him about Rachel is actually talking to, what's that girl name? Myrla. So Rachel was talking to Myrla, telling her about the housewarming, telling her about the housewarming and how the friends came over and she met his friends, vice versa. And it really made her happy to hear from one of the friends' guys that she has a really good man. And she kind of already knew that, but it makes her feel a certain way to actually hear that from someone else, right? What I noticed in this scene was the fact that the dog seems to be growing on Myrla. I'm like, okay, I guess the dog growing on the girl. I guess that's a good thing, because y'all know Myrla didn't want to have nothing to do with that dog. I can't 100% blame Myrla after I saw that dog, because I was like, where that dog is ugly as hell. No, ma'am. But all in all, the dog is growing on her. She's happy. Obviously, with her being at the house, I feel like she probably do be taking the dog out to use the bathroom and stuff, even though she says that's not something she wants to do. So, okay. She also talks about how she goes to the gym. Of course, Gil likes to go to the gym as well. But because she has her her ring on, the real ring, it kind of, may affect her working out. So what he did was he got her like a silicone ring to put on there, so people know that she's taken, but at the same time, she's able to work out comfortably, right? But then she tried to act like it wasn't that serious, or she didn't think that it was cute, I guess, because Rachel was like, oh, that's so nice, that's cute. She was like, it's okay, it's whatever. I told him that I wanted a Cartier one. I'm like, girl, number one, you know he can't afford that. That's number one. And number two, we know you lying because you wearing it right now. Girl, you ain't even at the gym and you got it on. So don't be acting like you don't like the gesture because you do. I don't know why Myrla is so focused on giving this man a hard time, but she is. Okay, so later on we can see where Rachel takes Jose to go and play on some goats, play with the goats and stuff like that. Them goats so cute, girl. But I keep going back to thinking about Jackie Christie over there at Basketball Wives when that goat hopped on her back. Girl, I holler. Girl, she was about to leave the earth right then, honey. She was about to jump right out her body. The little goats was over there shitting all over the place and everything. Girl, that is too funny. But anyway, so Rachel felt as though watching how Jose is with the goats let her know that he's probably going to be a really great father. He's probably going to be just as caring when it comes to his children when they have them. So she speaks on falling in love and how she will need more understanding before she actually falls in love. So she needs a lot. What I need from you is understanding. How can we communicate if you don't hear what I say? Okay, so that's where she's at, right? And she also goes on to talk about how she feels like he doesn't really listen to her because he do too much talking. Okay, girl, Escape Understanding is definitely the song for you. Okay, because he does too much mother talking. All right, what else? He says he listens to her, so all of the things that she wants, he will do, right? So he's just talking, and I feel like he's telling her the things that she wants to hear when it comes down to him falling in love, okay? Because she asks, like, what do you think you need to do to fall in love? He says all of the things that I'm doing right now. Okay, he said not to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm doing a great job, right? But when it comes to listening to you, like, of course, I'm going to do that. All of the things that you desire with your little heart, I'm going to fulfill that, right? But Rachel says that she notices that he may not be listening to her, but more so thinking of what he's going to say next. I'm like, girl, what y'all need is understanding, okay? Jose says he says he has never been in love before, but it's been a strong like, though. I said, what the fuck is a strong like? She said, you ain't never been in love? He was like, no. He was like, well, listen, I dated this woman, you know what I'm saying? When I dated this woman, you know what I'm saying? I dated her for like 4 years, but I couldn't get over the fact that she had a child. Baby, I don't know what idea or dream you sold yourself, but every day you woke up to this woman and hung out with this woman and spent time with this woman and her child, you were getting over the fact that she had a child. You really were high-key getting over the fact that she had a child. And you stayed in that situation for 4 years, okay? And you probably robbed yourself of true and genuine happiness, okay? All because of, I guess, the idea that you have for yourself of wanting to start a slate clean, right? You want to start a slate clean, no kids. If there are going to be any kids in the household, they're going to be your kids. And I understand that, and that's fine. But it also could potentially end up, God forbid, but it can end up in a situation where, yeah, you started and had a clean slate with this woman, and then this woman ended up leaving you. So then now you starting over with a clean slate by your damn self, and you probably would have been way more happier had you went with the woman that had a child and you had more children with her and whatever. But to each his own, honey. If that's what you felt you needed to do for your life, okay. But don't sit up here and downplay and talk about how you wasn't in love with her. You had a strong light, and what was preventing you from being in love with this woman and moving forward was because she had kids. You wasted this lady's time. I hope she whooped your ass on your way out the door. Okay, now Miss Rachel can't get over the fact that he said that he ain't never been in love. And of course, he can't really get over the fact that she cheated because I think one of his parents cheated on the other. So even though her person ended up forgiving her, he said he don't think he would have forgiven her. But she can't get over that. And I feel her because it's like, dang, if you took forever to fall in love with that person and you didn't just allow yourself to be in love, then how long is it going to take you to fall in love with me? I kind of feel like it may not take that long for him to fall in love, but I think he gives me the idea of Myrla. When he's getting to that place, he's going to be like, heavily guarded, cautious to not go down that road to truly fall in love. But now that you're his actual wife and he know that y'all are in it, especially once this process is completely over and he's in it, I think he's going to get to that place where he's going to fully allow himself to be in love with you. I could be wrong, okay? But I don't think it's going to take him that long, but we shall see. Y'all leave your thoughts down below. What else ended up happening? Oh, she talked about the relationship. I told y'all about the cheating. I think she was with that person for 6 years. She ended up cheating at 2. And then they ended up being together for multiple years after that. And then he gonna ask her, when you hang out with your girls and stuff, how am I, how are you gonna be able to reassure me that you're not gonna cheat on me? She said, you just gonna have to trust me. I said, exactly. I said, why are you bringing in what happened to her in her past into this situation? And based on what happened with your parents, why are you bringing that? Okay, you over here bringing in insecurities that don't have to exist. She was being honest in that moment. She probably was going to tell you that anyway without the games being played. She was going to get to that point and let you know that she has indeed cheated before. So, I mean, like you're putting 20 on 10. Okay, who she was with that person may not be who she is with you. And you got to give her range to prove or to show that she lacks the trust that you're already giving her. Let's move on to Bao and Johnny. Johnny and Bao, they pretty much got it in. I don't care what nobody say. They was over there humping and bumping. Okay, the way he was kissing her, like before they even talked about it later on in the episode, about whether or not they got it in. For me, it was more so when they first showed them and they were getting ready to cook together, the way he kept kissing her, I said, they just tonight. Okay, they just got it in tonight and ain't nothing wrong with it. Y'all married, do your thing. Okay, she brings up him having doubt and not being ready, so she wants to know how he's feeling at this moment. He tells her that he never expected it to be this hard. He says that he has never been in a situation where he had to fight to be in love with someone. It's crazy because all of these guys are feeling like they have to fight to be in love with their mates, and I'm wondering what is the underlying conditions of the show that these people feel like they got to be at a place where they love them, and it's only been 2 weeks. That's what I'm confused about. Just because you be with somebody all day, every day, like, I'm confused on this L word that it seems like Pastor Cal and the show is trying to force on these people. It's not making sense. Y'all let me know down in the comments. But that's what he said. He's never been in a situation where he had to fight to be in love with somebody. Okay. He says Bao is what he wants in a mate, but there are a lot of red flags. He tells her he doesn't have an initial spark to her, but he is trying to find it, right? So he's not 100% there, but let's be honest, Bao, I don't think you should take that to heart 100%, because when was Johnny ever there or had a spark with anybody? None of them ladies. That's why he had over 100 dates or however many, because he never had a spark with anybody. So that's the issue that Johnny got to work out right there. But now he's married to you. Okay, and unless he wants to end this process, which I don't think he does, I think he's starting to grow a like to Miss Bao. I think that he's gonna get to that place. I just feel like he's fighting for it a bit too soon because y'all were married at first sight. So I think that the feelings are gonna take time. How much time? I don't know, but I don't think they're supposed to show up in 2 damn weeks. But that's just me. Let's move on. Bao speaks on wanting. Excuse me, she says she speaks on wanting to find more common ground before falling in love with him because they have a lot of differences, right? So I feel like that's the same thing that Johnny is saying, but he may not be wording it in the same way that you're wording it, right? He's wording it that as, oh, she's the mate, she's the person that I would want to be with, the type of person, but there are red flags. And then you are also trying to find common ground before you fall in love because y'all have differences. So I feel like they are saying the same thing, but it's being communicated differently, right? So I just feel like Bao, some part of me feels like you have some similar reservations as Johnny. So a lot of stuff he says you really shouldn't take to heart because you do the same shit. But anyway, so Gil and Myrla, let's get to them real quick. Gil and Myrla. So Gil is letting his beard grow in. That's one thing that I did notice and I liked it. But then by the end of the episode, I ain't see the beard no more. And I said, sir, your face is designed for a beard. Grow it in. Pull it back, okay? Let it grow out, sir. It looked nice, okay? Myrla needs Gil to be actionable for her to fall in love with him. And I'm like, girl, he's being actionable. Are you going to be actionable? Girl, you ain't giving him no action physically at all. All right. Now you are starting to with the leans and all this and that and grabbing his arm and stuff. So you're slowly letting your guard down, girl. But you have to show just as much action as you want him to show. Myrla says that she has to actively make a choice to love him. She hasn't fallen in love yet because of that. Makes sense because who was just saying that? I think it was Jose just saying the same thing. Like Jose stopped himself from falling in love with that lady. He did not give himself the choice to genuinely just fall for this person. Okay, give yourself grace to just see where this goes and just fall. Stop restricting your feelings, right? So she wants to make sure it makes sense before she just gives her heart to him. And I kind of disagree, y'all. I feel like, girl, it didn't even make sense for you to get married at first sight, but you did. But now you want to sit up here and say it got to make sense for you to fall for him. Girl, just fall. Just let it happen. It's going to be okay. I feel like you torturing yourself more by restricting it and making a decision on who you want to love instead of just allowing things to flow and to happen like it naturally should happen. But okay, if you ain't interested and you just don't like them like that, then just say that. Okay, so what else went on? Gil says that he is on the route to fall in love with her. He feels like things are lining up and he's not restricting himself. So he feels like in time, because he already likes her, he really likes her. So if they keep this up, he's going to likely fall in love with her. I feel like by the time she really lay it on him and kiss him and stuff like that, get him what he wants, some of those luscious lips, he gonna damn near have one toe over there in the love pond for sure. What else? He says he doesn't know how far or close he is to loving her. He isn't sure. And once again, I feel like that's normal. That's okay. It's only been a few weeks, 2 weeks. Gil gives Myrla a foot rub when they get ready to go to bed, honey. He said, how about I give you a foot rub before we go to bed? She's like, oh, that's cool. He rubbing her feet and he's like, how does it feel? She's like, it's all right, but I think it would be better if I was really, tired or something like that. My feet were hurting. Like, yeah, but it's okay. I'm so confused by Myrla. I feel like Myrla, it's a struggle to please you, girl. It is truly a struggle to please you. It seems like everything that he tries to do, she try to downplay it like it ain't good enough or something. I don't understand that. But you want him to give you the world and stuff. But once he give you the world, you're going to have an issue and you're going to complain about that too. Yeah, not understanding. Let's get to Michaela and Zack real quick, okay? So Zack went back to the apartment and he says that he tried to call Michaela, but Michaela didn't answer the phone. She ended up texting him or something like that. And she told him, listen, don't call my phone. You need to text this phone, and this a whole different phone. And I feel like it's going to be better if we text instead of talk. Wait. You crazy in your rabbit-headed ass mind. Girl, you crazy. You better answer this motherfucking phone. Because at the end of the day, we living in the same apartment. We both have access to the same home. So if I'm not gonna text no damn phone after I done called you. I'm gonna show up to the door, open up the door. And you ain't gotta open it up because I'm gonna be in there anyway. Talk about some text, a whole nother number. I said, what kind of childish ass shit is this, girl? You better girl. Okay, so Zack gives Michaela an example to get her to understand where he's coming from. So he used an example about bees and being stung by bees and stuff. And why he chose bees, I don't know, but I definitely was able to follow along with what it was he was saying. Meanwhile, Michaela over here making all these faces and scrunching and doing all this extra stuff. And I'm just like, girl, cut it out. You over here trying to act like you don't understand what this man is saying. So he tells her that the bees are referring to her handling of conflict, okay? And she has had 3 different instances where she has acted immaturely. Get it together. She does not, I think she's so used to people leaving her and not being there for her that she tries to go ahead and self-sabotage and prepare herself. And I feel like I can see where she's coming from because I feel like I've done this in my past. But like you try to go ahead and prepare yourself to be tough. So when they do walk away, you will feel like you're unfazed or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like it. She definitely has some growing up to do. But I do feel like whether she or Zack whether she and Zack decide to stay married or not, she gonna learn her motherfucking lesson in this. Because she talks so highly of him. She thinks he's so amazing. She thinks he's so beautiful, all this other stuff. If she loses this man and he divorces her, if she never learned her lesson before. So yeah, she gonna learn her lesson with this relationship if she ain't learned it any other time before. So there's that. Where else are we in this? He tells her, okay, so she tells him that they're in a new relationship, right? She's like, first of all, she says that he never acknowledges his part, right? When he does things, he never try to acknowledge his part and what he could have done wrong. And I kind of understand where you're coming from. Okay, fine. Okay. Because I do feel like as much as Michaela is wrong in things, I also feel like Zack, you be kind of wrong in some shit too. Okay. you be definitely kind of wrong in some stuff, and you are a person that likes to adhere to what your wife is saying. So if she told you she likes communication, communicate with her. If she's told you, oh, don't wake me up, and you already knew that, like, okay, cool, I know she don't want me to wake her up, I'm not gonna wake her up, but I know she wants me to communicate with her at the same time, so let me shoot her a text. So you kind of knew what you were doing, and your little smiles and your little grins makes me feel like you are up to some FS, some function. For sure. Okay, so she tells him that he never acknowledges his part in things. Okay, and what else did she say? She tells him that they are in a new relationship and they are learning each other. And I kind of felt like, okay, Michaela, I hear you, but with you saying that, also understand that if y'all are learning each other, you can't fly off the handles the way that you flying off and throwing damn Clorox wipes and stuff and grabbing your bags and moving out of the home. Girl, you can't do none of this. Okay, you can't be, no ma'am. Okay, you can't be doing all of that, girl. So you're gonna have to deal. Okay, because y'all are new in this relationship and y'all getting to know each other. So yeah, there's that. He tells her that that's a BS excuse, which it was, in my opinion. He wants her to understand that they handle conflict very differently, and he doesn't know if he can move past that. What else did I write? I said I don't think it's fair to her, because you want her to change and how she handles situations, but you don't want to move to a place where you can get past it. That's what I made a note of, because he said that they handle conflict different, and now he's saying he don't know if he can move past that. And I'm like, that's not really fair for you to, only look. I don't like one-sided arguments or whatever, where it's like, oh, you did this, you did that, you did that. Like, no, let's talk about what you did, what you're going to do, and all that. Okay, it shouldn't just be over here. Put it over here, because this over here is a reaction based on an action. Let's be clear about that, right? So that's how I'm feeling about that. He asked, what else did he say? He asked her to tell him what he can do better, or what it is that he's doing wrong. She tells him, for starters, you can talk to me. Girl, for starters, you can also talk to him. Talking about some damn text another number. No, ma'am. You can also talk to him, girl. So what else happened? I think I made a note of his slight smiles and his grins, because definitely giving off sneakiness to me. Okay, he asked her stupid questions like, does she want to get back to where they were? What do you think she wants to do, sir? What do you think yes, she wants to get back to where y'all were. Duh. Y'all have no choice, because y'all are in this whole marriage together. He is now saying that he is willing to try everything because he wants it to work. And I'm like, but you were just talking about how you couldn't get over it. Okay, Zack, see, now you're confusing me, dear. Okay. So he wants to give her comfort in making this work. She says that she will think before she acts, and she will tell him what she needs and actually hear him out. All I heard were lies, okay? That's all I heard. I don't believe Michaela. So they're trying to connect again. So they get the love questions, right? So instead of answering them at the house, they end up going on a date, which I thought was awesome. They go on this date, and they both speak about how neither of them ever been in love. Michaela says when she was about to be in love, the person moved away or something happened. And I'm like, girl, you was in love. That's the reason why you was going so damn crazy, because you fall in love so damn quickly, and them people couldn't handle it. Girl, they had to move out of another state on your ass, girl. Okay. Meanwhile, Zack saying that he ain't never been in love. Zack says that he never thought he could fall in love with any of his exes because of the boxes that he needed them to check, right? But he was staying in a relationship with them like Jose long enough, but never saw them in the long run being the person that he would marry, I guess. And she was like, well, what was on that list, honey? He said looks, ambitious, intelligent, adaptable, trust, honest, loyal, and maturity when it comes to conflict. She says that she was beginning to fall in love. Now, first of all, let me go back to his list. I don't fault him on his list. I really don't see anything wrong with his list for him to have a standard like that. But I also feel like people got to be okay to look at some things that can be worked on. What are some things that you guys can work on together? All right, because I don't think every person comes with the full shebang of what you may want, right? I feel like that's kind of rare. Okay, they may not have the looks or the style, but you may have to have upgrade their style or something. But they got everything else. They handle conflict maturely. They're an intelligent person. They adapt to whatever environment. They trust what they may have all of these things going on, but they may not be good in the fashion department, right? So, but there are some things that are just like honesty and trust. It's like, oh, baby, okay, if they ain't got that, we ain't going far no way. So you're going to have that coming into it. So I didn't really fault him 100% for him having his list. She says that she was beginning to fall in love with him, but now she's at a place where she's guarded after they kind of got into it. And really, she's guarded because she thought those sympathy ass tears she was giving him was going to be enough for him to take her back. And he was like, oh no, ma'am, I'm gonna go to the house where I'm not gonna stay up in here with you. We not gonna do this, we not gonna do that. Like, okay. So I think she was starting to fall in love until she saw that was not working. Okay. She usually when he loses interest, he says that he doesn't get it back. What else? He doesn't know if he is getting to fall. And I guess if he's starting to fall in love, he don't know if he is. But he also says that once he loses interest, it's really hard for him to get it back. But he's at a place where he wants to try, right? So they also attend a barbecue. So, this is just so long. So they attend this barbecue, and Rachel can see herself living in this house now, which was interesting because at one point Rachel was like, I ain't trying to move over here with y'all. Okay, because my daddy taught me to have my own. But the more she's at the house, the more she could see her being there. Gil asked the couples about falling in love with the love cards. It seems like some of them did well with that. Zack asked Gil about that kiss and has he got any affection yet? Okay, no, but he says it's progressing. Brett is starting to feel like as she listens to everybody else's relationship, that everybody else's relationship is blossoming more than hers is. And I'm like, it is. It is. Okay. Everyone believes that Johnny will be the first person to drop the L word. I don't know. I don't even know who I think will be the first person to drop the L word. I feel like it could be Rachel or Jose. One of them. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Rachel, Bao, and Michaela. So they talk about their marriages. Rachel doesn't like that Jose talks more than he listens. Michaela finally opens up about her marriage and how she and Zack are learning to be married. Johnny talking to the guys, and he speaks on how he feels like he is the problem within the relationship because he has wanted the perfect person for such a long time. That's right. Zack could relate with him. And then Ryan says that he's still waiting on the spark. And then Ryan, again, is so confusing because he asks, is it okay and good enough for him to not get to the place of falling in love with her? But then says that he doesn't want good enough. And I'm like, okay, I'm confused because you're saying that you haven't got to the spark yet. And then you said, is it okay? Is it good enough for me to not have the spark yet? And just, we continue to do this until I find the spark. And then you turn around and say, but I don't want good enough. Well, which one is it, Zack? I mean, not Zack, but Ryan. Which one is it? What do you want her to do? And if y'all are listening to this and y'all are confused, that's exactly how it is because that's what he gave out. Confusion. Girl, this man was not ready for no married at first sight, girl. I don't know about them. But anyway, I see them two divorcing when this is over because I don't see no advancement with their relationship. Brett opens up to Gil and Myrla about how Ryan is waiting for a feeling. And it seems like Gil wanted to tell her after she was saying all that. Gil wanted to say, girl, that's bullshit. He feeding you bullshit. That's what I was getting from Gil. Rachel told Jose that she loves him and he said it back. So they are progressing very quickly. Okay. So obviously it was Rachel and Jose that were the first ones to tell each other that they love each other. Zack comes back from the gym all sweaty and talking about he want to do like a cooking thing at the house. I said, Zack, baby, you don't go get your ass in the shower before you sit over here trying to stand over this stove and cook. Go get your ass in the shower, boy. All right. But anyway, so Gil and Myrla takes him out to eat to a fancy restaurant, and she wants to do this more often. She wants to go to spots like this. He not sold on that because number one, it's expensive. Y'all know he likes to watch his coins. On top of that, he likes to cook his food at the house. So yeah, no, we shouldn't be doing this all the time. She's talking about she want him to be her brunch date. So, and she likes to go out on brunch every weekend. I want to go on brunch, every weekend. I like to, I want you to be my brunch date. And he's like, girl, wait a minute. I want to be more than your brunch date. I want you to desire me more than just having somebody to post on social media and just having somebody to say that you got somebody and that because you got a ring. Just to say that you married because you married. But I'm not feeling like I'm married. I'm not getting anything on my end of the stick. I'm not getting any affection, but I'm pleasing you based on how other people are looking into the relationship when that's not the reality of what it is, right? So I'm definitely here for Gil kind of checking her in that moment. He says that he wants quality time and he feels like his quality time is much different than hers. He tells her that for them to keep on this journey, he wants to be needed and wanted, and it has to be bigger than just being her just being happy because she got a ring. So I enjoyed the conversation between Myrla and Gil. As I did this review with you guys, I kind of feel like it wasn't as bad. I feel like the review was better than the show. As I'm going through it and I'm talking this stuff out, I feel like it makes sense. But then when I was watching the show, I was like, this is such a fucking drag, honey. Okay, but all in all, that's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos now. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.